now.
You mentioned that this is a freelance-driven industry. What are the differences then for a customer, say a law firm,
Mhm.
their choices when they're looking at translation? Let's look at legal translation. Now that's going to be driven mostly by individuals working in translation of words. What would encourage them to want to work directly with a translator, individually, direct as a freelancer, or through an agency model?
Number one, just from a cost perspective, if a firm decides to put 10 first or second year associates or whatever to translate, it's just not going to be cost effective. You're paying this person's rates, and then you're also taking them out of their ability to go lawyer, right? What we endeavor to do is to really come in, like I said, as a partner and say, look, let us swallow up this big language project, because, by the way, this is a huge undertaking, and if you guys have never done it before, it will go badly for you. So let us come in and do that and do this well, and you guys focus on what you're good at, which is attorneying. It also opens, I guess, or potentially opens up bias, right? If you're translating your own documents, so then if I'm on the other side of that, I'm going to immediately say, no way. There is immediate bias there. We don't have any skin in the game. We could care less what happens at the outcome of the matters that we work on. What we are concerned about is providing the highest quality product and the highest quality service to our clients. They can then go argue about what they say and how the law should be applied there. Agencies and companies are going to have more. Really, it's about accountability, right? There's a layer in between where, we're saying, hey, look, we're out here. We're going to rep to you that this is what we do and this is how we do it, and we're gonna be accountable. We're not just a kind of a one person linguist. Now, there's plenty of translators that have direct clients, and sometimes it works out really well. But I've also heard both from clients and from translators those scenarios where it doesn't work out well at all. Because there is no, our job is to be a go-between, right? We're an agent, and that's for both sides of the equation. That's for the linguist side, right? It gives them certain protections. They don't have these lawyers breathing down their neck sometimes at all hours of night, and demanding this and demanding that, and vice versa. The lawyers don't have these linguists asking kind of little teeny questions all along the way, and there is a space for us to smooth the process from both sides and make the process a much more efficient one for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm. There must also be a capacity and volume sensitivity when you're dealing with just an individual.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, the average professional translator translates, call it 2,500 to 3,000 words per day, right? If you think of the average page of 250 words, so 10 pages or so, right? Economies of scale there. If you show up with 5,000 pages that you need in a week, obviously that's not going to work for just one person. So, where we really, our sweet spot is, these large scale projects that we're able to very quickly staff up with folks who we know have the quality that we need. We did, as an example, it was close to 400,000 words in 72 hours. That is moving quick, right? Back in the heyday when I started the business there, our first project or our first big project was 2.5 million words into 15 different languages. I mean, if you think about, that's 30 million words. It was absolutely monstrous. But, we had probably 400 to 500 different people working on that project at any one given time for about 7 or 8 months. And it was massive, and it was all hardcore healthcare content, actually. Mm-hmm. So, we had, on each team, there was either an RN or an MD or something. So there was, it was absolutely monstrous, but it went off without a hitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that can imagine the needs on the project management side with something like that too. It's not just the technical expertise in the language, but also in the ability to maneuver and manage teams dispersed, because that's a dispersed model, right? These 400 or 500 linguists are not working in one single location. They're spread across conceivably anywhere
They
in the world, right?
they were spread across the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was teams in Asia, there were teams in Europe, there were teams here, there was a team in Canada, there's a team in South America. So yeah, I mean, it's really, and you're right, the project management needs there are massive. I think we had something like 25,000 documents at the end of the day was the final count. So 25,000 individual documents for each language pair. That's just like the English set. We were translating into 15 different languages. And then they have to go through a process of probably 5 or 6 step process each document. So tracking that all and making sure you're organized and, it's a massive undertaking. And that's, it's way more than just one person or one linguist could do. That's when you start talking about projects of that size.
Mm-hmm. And also, I imagine productivity tools, right? There are computer aided tools.
Yep.
I think it's called CAT, or is that what?
CAT. Yep. Computer assisted translation. That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
What is that? What's that in context of machine translation? Machine translation seems to be something different than that.
That's right. It is. So MT is just machine translation. You put in here's a document. It goes into a black box. You click a button and it spits out the document in a different language. CAT tools are kind of a precursor to MT and NMT and things like that, where Brandon is wearing a pink shirt, right? And you translate it once, and it gets into a translation memory, and so every time you run something through there, if it sees Brandon is wearing a pink shirt again, it'll say, "Here's the translation. We have it," and it'll put a percentage match, right? Which that one would be 100% match. But if it said the source sentence said Brandon is wearing a blue shirt, it would feed you the translation for Brandon's wearing a pink shirt, and it would call it a fuzzy match. And so the idea is that it maintains what it can, and then you have to go in and fix it, and then that gets saved. And so over time the translation memory gets larger, and the idea is that over time you'll be able to leverage that content to bring down costs. And to bring down costs, but also we have matter specific translation memories where the terms of art will get into that memory and make sure that we're consistent across the body of work over time.